Is the Friday edition with me, Farish Majid. But before we get to give you the news bulletin in detail, let's first have a look at some of the stories making it down the headlines. In the headlines tonight, theft of animals, Wadi Pakwach and Greater Navy leaders. Locals urged to embrace culture so as to promote development. And Minister Lugolobi faces heat as witnesses present iron sheets in anti-corruption trial. For this and more, in the NILE CAST News Bulletin. Once again, thank you for joining us. This is the NILE CAST News Bulletin every Mondays to Fridays with me, Farish Majid. And today, to begin it off, let's first have a look at some of the stories. Office of the Prime Minister is blaming Arua District officials for being adamant over the stalemate of the 900 million bridge construction project in Arua District. Arua Bridge of double span measuring 20 meters long being constructed to link community access roads between Vura and Arivu sub-counties has turned out to be a bushy area scaring humans from crossing the stream. Frederick Dramadri with more on the story.
The Office of the President has apportioned blames on Arua District officials for being adamant over the stalemate of the over 900 million bridge construction project. Arua Bridge of double span measuring 20 meters long being constructed to link access roads between Vura and Arivu sub-counties has turned to be a bushy area scaring humans from crossing the stream. During her recent visit to the district, the State Minister for Economic Monitoring in the Office of the President, Peter Sekelo, tasked the district leaders to explain why the project could not proceed.
Then there is a Arua Bridge in Vura sub-county. This Arua Bridge has been abandoned. Is it true, engineer?
In response, the district acting engineer, Tio Oda, explained that the contract incapacitated and failed to deliver the work in time. He further stressed that since the contract was central awarded from the Ministry of Agriculture, the district has little accounts to make on the transactions.
Let's take interest in that. The records are there at my youth headquarters. We have some of the records. The contractor is said to be staying in Kampala. I've not seen the office, but at least he speaks Luganda.
Seen as a bushy area, Arua Bridge has never yielded to serve the population. The resident district commissioner, Geoffrey Okishwa, urged ministries to totally decentralize procurement processes for local government development projects to avoid a repeat of such event.
These projects are broad, particularly these ones of hybrid procurement. They are procured from Kampala for the benefit of the people locally here in the district. So we need to get in the future directly involved as a district in the procurement process. Not just coming in to tell the district that the project has been brought, you supervise.
The contractor to date has not surfaced at the site. In 2021, Government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries, MAIF, procured MWL Company Limited to construct the 980 million Ugandan shillings Arua Bridge in Arua District under the Agriculture Cluster Development Program, whose contract period ended in 2022, while works remain at initial stages. Frederick Dramadri, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories. A section of Greater Parombo leaders in the district are angry with the rampant cases of animal theft registered in 3 lower local government units of Akworo, Parombo Sub-County and Parombo Town Council. And Alfred Zawo compiled the story.
When our reporter visited some of the affected areas like Alego East and Alego West, Angabakasato, Padelusi, Deya and Falung among others, the leaders accused some local council one chairpersons for what they call as discrimination in solving the matter illegally. Ronald Tomwaukumu, chairperson local council 3 Parombo Town Council, said 2 weeks ago some residents intercepted over 12 cattle at Bangere village believed to have been stolen from Kral in Nyaravur sub-county, Nebi district. Tomwa urged other stakeholders and local leaders from grassroots to sensitize people about the danger of theft if one is apprehended. He blamed some animal owners who give little attention to their animals at night.
As people in authority, with the sister forces, we have the UPDF detached in Pangere, and then we have the Uganda Police Force, Parombo Police Station. Though the numbers are handy, we have been controlling, and when we get due diligence, due information, we do act, and with our sister security agencies in Congo, we have been mandatory pressure. Case in point, we managed to got around 11 cows from DRC Congo, and then they were identified, and then we gave them back to the owners.
Lawrence Okecha, Local Council 3 chairperson Parombo Sub-County, equally added his voice that Parombo Sub-County, being at the border with Pakwash and Nyaravur, has leaders. They have appealed to the Office of Security in Nebi District, but nothing is done to help the animal owners. He added that the animals help people to pay school fees, dowries and other cultural demands, but they are stolen and you become stranded.
There is tendency actually for me to appeal, in fact, to the higher authorities, that is the security officers. Let them also come to our rescue, because it is too much. This thing could be stopped if at least few of them could be arrested, then taken for what? For custody. But unfortunately, it's difficult. But we are trying our level best, at least to talk to them, particularly these villagers. Let us come together and see that we control these thieves coming to our sub-county, because these animals is a sort of wealth for us. When you talk of education, this animal could be actually sold. Then they help us in paying fees, paying uniform and all others. This is hindering our development within the sub-county and the town council of Parombo, including also Ashana.
However, when our reporter spoke to Robert Omitostin, the Pakwach district chairperson attributes the theft of animals to some local council one chairpersons who connive and issue animal movement permits with stamps without being verified by the district veterinary officer. He added that the thieves are very arrogant in managing the mission. They are found of beating young boys assigned to look after the animals and later steal them.
Whenever some suspicious characters are got, they should ensure they straight away deliver these people to police. LC should not also accept to agree on resolving matters of animal theft. It is a very serious crime because it has a serious negative effect on people's properties and wealth. That means thieves are working against government, more especially against the socio-economic transformation pillar, the third pillar of NRM, on transforming life, creating wealth and enhancing prosperity, so that at the end we can secure the future of Ugandans. So those are our enemies. These thieves, animal thieves, are our enemy number one. So we are not going to allow that. So that means it becomes a very serious criminality that I condemn. And therefore, for Pakwach district, I want to caution the LC ones to stop indulging themselves in involving, maybe engaging on matters of animal theft. Such matters must straight away be reported to police as a criminal case, and this person straight away subjected to the long arm of the law, so that we pick these. The moment some thieves are got, they act as serious litmus papers, and then they face the rest.
Omito further revealed that in the month of October, security personnel managed to arrest the leaders of the animal thieves in the sub-county bordering Uganda from the southwest part of Pakwach district. He, however, promised to continue operation to crack down animal thieves in Pakwach district. Some of the village chairpersons have expressed concern, saying because they were not informed in writing and nothing much they can do, and urges both parties to revise their social stability. They task the District Security Committee to allow them exercise their duties as local council one chairpersons. Reports from Navy Police indicate that over 256 cattle were stolen from the month of March to October this year, and over 7 suspects have been convicted for their own plea of guilty. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in the stories. Locals in Obongi district have been urged to embrace culture so as to promote development and reconciliation. This call was made by Right Honorable Tuku Ismail, the Prime Minister Lubarakari, during the 3rd edition of Obongi District Cultural Gala in Lionga Primary School, Obongi District. The gala was celebrated under the theme, Embracing and Respecting Cultural Diversity, and brought in a number of cultural institutions within Obongi District. Okumu Dominic with more on the story.
The gala, which is celebrated under the theme Embracing and Respecting Cultural Diversity, brought in different cultural groups within Obongi district, including the refugees, to showcase their cultural dances and share with the rest of the community members so as to promote peaceful coexistence and development in the district. Right Honorable Tuku Ismail, the Prime Minister Lubarakari, who was the chief guest of the occasion, implored the people to embrace culture so as to promote development and reconciliation, saying culture has ruled the society more than any other ruling structures.
Not knowing exactly what culture is all about. Culture is our way of life. Culture is our language. Culture is actually what we are. Why do we promote culture? Because it is through this way that we can learn a lot of things for our own development. If you can recall, the cultural institutions or culture itself has ruled us for more than 2,000 years. And the religion has done it for about 100 or so years. And the government, that is the central or whatever government, has done it for 61 years today. This now means culture governed us more than any other entity. And we were much peaceful during those periods when we were governed by culture. Because in the system of culture you have what we call traditional justice mechanism. This is a system where when two parties get into problems, they solve it amicably out of court and they end up getting it on win-win situation. But with the formal courts, if you have an issue with your brother, sister, or a relative or a neighbor, you go to the formal court, one person has to win and the other loses. Whoever wins takes it all.
Reverend Okeng George, the Culture Liaison Officer, Uganda National Cultural Center, appealed to the public to always value their culture, saying culture is very important in shaping the lives of people for development.
To appeal to the public that there is nothing important like our culture. Everybody has a culture, and it is important for one to know his or her culture, because this is where we began from. It is important for you to know where you started from, so that it is good for you to go to where you have not been. So this is our foundation. It is important that we know our foundation, which is our culture, before we move elsewhere as far as development is concerned.
Mr. Mpimbaza Samuel Hasaka, the resident district commissioner of Obongi, urged the people to strengthen the cultural gala and use the occasion to learn more about culture and things that can bring development in the district.
So really, this is a very important cultural gala that we need to strengthen and make it annual, and also learn lessons that what do we do to strengthen our cultures. The women, they can use them like in art and craft, and also, you know, other things where they can earn money. So it is very important, and you know, also the partners want to thank them for partnering with the unifying factor, and we agreed that let the chiefs, the paramount chiefs,
be the chief guests. We as leaders, politically and otherwise, we just want to be there to see the culture being promoted, and that's why you see the chief guest is a chief, a cultural chief, whom we have brought, and also bringing the cultures from the sub-counties, from even other parts of West Nile.
Mr. Mawadri Oforoga Jacob, the paramount chief of Aliba, requests all the cultural heads to consider sensitizing the public about the important aspects of culture so as to widen the knowledge of the community and change their mindset for development.
Yoba die beni dide alo koya idisuru kola kujota korekela ngeti kokekilini batserene ovio konzetro atikadri debuide kadri larudri asfonidri auserokalejo aratidro voanya sua ewo dikoba buje kozo bakatani chiriandra abie beni dide tema jokarane ingone ani sadroke fulakana disikabe to baba kozo padi chiriandro kurise amalandro kunga tadini yo gamete sa de sere emu dede tasi mundu vutri ingone re ya dia tere jo amadi abie beni bie bera ere kaba jele bere disidro kame konyinja jo amadi abie beni.
Mrs. Amen Elizabeth, the tourism officer of Bongi, say the gala is intended to create unity among the refugees and the host community and promote the different cultures among the people, especially among the youth who seem to have deviated from their cultures.
The district has one of the largest numbers of refugees. Actually, the refugee population is more than the community. So we know that these people have their cultures. We also have our cultures. How do we merge to say that get to understand my side as I understand your culture too? So this particular culture gala is to promote unity, to promote peace and also understanding about different cultures. We don't want it to die out. We have our youth who don't understand culture, who don't know the purpose of culture. So we want to promote it. But above all, this culture gala is supposed to sell Obongi district, to tell private sector everywhere in the country or even worldwide that we have enough resources that they can start the private wing here in Obongi. We have enough plant, we have a good hospitable people who can actually welcome the community. So this is just to improve on the private sector, to include public-private partnership. And this culture gala, as you've seen, very many people come. People don't relax. So it is one also us to say people should relax and understand that it's not always a tense time. People should forget their worries and get together and mingle.
The annual Obongi District Cultural Gala was initiated in 2021 with the aim of reviving the culture which has been eroded, especially among the people due to the influence of foreign cultures which has greatly affected the young generation. It's upon this background that the district, together with the local cultural leaders, deemed it necessary to hold the event annually so as to promote unity and different cultures among the people for development and to expose the unique features in the district to the world. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumu for West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Welcome back and more in our stories. Moving away from the region and now taking you to the national scene. The trial against State Minister for Finance and Planning Amos Lugorobi reached a critical juncture as two witnesses provided damning evidence before the Anti-Corruption Court. The witnesses detailed the confiscation of iron sheets allegedly taken from Minister Lugorobi's farm in Misanga Village, Bale Parish in Kayunga District. Detective and investigator ASP Lumala disclosed that during the search on February 28th of this month, on the February 28th of this year, 108 pieces of gauge 28 iron sheets had been used for roofing, while 210 remained unused. Lumala further testified that the farm manager, truck driver, and site engineer cooperated during the search. The detective engaged the driver, one identified as Panga Julius, to transport the seized iron sheets to Namamve police stores at a cost of Ugandan shillings 200,000. And more in the stories. After weeks of political tension marked by the opposition's boycott of parliamentary sessions, government has yielded to pressure, consenting to initiate new investigations into the mysterious disappearance of 8 individuals. The breakthrough came following a crucial meeting facilitated by Speaker of Parliament Anita Among, where both the opposition and government representatives engaged in constructive dialogue. Matthias Impuga, disclosed that the government had set aside its initial stance and agreed to launch fresh investigations into the whereabouts of the missing persons believed to be in the custody of state agencies. Despite government's request for an additional 30 days for investigations, which was rejected, the opposition remains steadfast in their demand for transparency and accountability. Dear viewer, with that we come to the end of the NILE CAST News Bulletin for today. It has been the Friday edition with me, Farish Majid, but